Hi guys, Helen the Russian here. This video I wanted to share a really inspirational story that I heard from my passengers last week that I thought it was truly inspirational. So that was Saturday late morning. I went driving, which I usually do like to do it on Saturdays, and I picked up these two people at Blue Diamond at the truck stop. Right by Blue Diamond and I-15 there is a big truck stop. So it was a Lyft ride. So I picked up those passengers. It's a man and a woman, and they're going to Walmart here in Green Valley, and we had a bit of a chat. And here's now, I stressed they completely volunteered that story in the course of conversation. Like I'm not, because I don't want people to think I pry things out of people. I really don't. It all started from something entirely different, and then they got to talking because they wanted to tell me why they're going to Walmart and whatnot. And here's what they had to say. So they were both looking to be about middle age, so I'm gonna say late 30s, early 40s, right? So the guy is a truck driver, and the woman is his partner, his girlfriend, meaning they're not legally married yet, but they will be, as they told me, at some stage. She is traveling with him continually, meaning they don't go home, like he's not going home at all. So he keeps doing his truck routes wherever they take them, and she's with him, and she's very happy about this. And here's what the story, that's how the story unfolded. This man and that woman lived literally across the street from each other, married to other people. He was married and had kids. She was married and had a daughter, I believe. And they knew each other just as neighbors. They weren't very close, but they knew each other. They trying to think, not Kentucky, Ohio. Can't remember which state, honestly can't tell. But small town. It sounded like quite small town. And then they moved to different places, so they didn't live across the street from each other anymore. But their kids, who are the same age, went to the same school. In the meantime, the kids, her daughter and his son, started dating, which at that stage, still both parents didn't realize who the kids dated, who are the parents. And then the guy got divorced, something he did not say what exactly happened, but he said two of my older kids were killed. I have no idea what, and I didn't want to press because clearly it's I would assume it was very painful subject, but he said, two of my kids got killed, and the marriage disintegrated after that. The wife left. This woman had very unhappy, abusive marriage, and it's not her even saying, it's the guy who, because she just kind of mentioned in passing, but he felt like he needs to elaborate, and I felt terrible. He said, her husband thought it was really funny to grab her by the throat and pin her to the wall, and she was only a tiny little woman, very petite, so I can see. And good on her. Then she piped in and she goes, well, he was clearly insecure and was taking out his insecurities on me, but at the time she did not see a way out of that relationship for various different reasons. I'm assuming economic reasons were some of them. So their kids, now they're graduating from high school, and her daughter comes to her mother and says, Mom, I've been dating my boyfriend for a while. We decided we really want to move in together, and I want to move in with him to his house. And the mother said, no, that's fine. I know the father, we used to be neighbors, he's a good man. She knew the wife is already gone, but she said, no, it's all good. So the daughter lives in there, and she's all happy with her boyfriend, things are good. But now she's talking to her mom and says, look, he seemed, the father, not her boyfriend, but the father, the man who was in my car, he seems really unhappy. He works all the time, and then when he's at home, he just sits kind of in the morose state, drinking coffee and not doing much and whatnot. So the woman said to the girl, well, let me come and visit, and so she got to talking, and clearly these people had a bit in common from the time when they were neighbors. And in the course of those conversations, he found a bit more about her state of marriage, and she got to why he's so unhappy, and they were talking about different things, and she said, look, you always said you wanted to drive a truck, like it was, from what I remember, it was always your dream. He goes, yeah, it was, it still kind of is. She goes, well, go get certified, go get, and she encouraged him, like basically pulled him up and encouraged him to go do it, and he did. And once he done it, obviously at that stage the relationship blossomed into something more serious, and he encouraged her to move away from her abusive husband. And he said she apparently never left the little town they lived in. She never left the county. Like all her life, she was in mid-30s, never did. So he told her the minute he got his certification and he knew he's going to be driving, he goes, you know what, get in the truck, I'm going to show you the country. And she was quite happy to do it, and and then they talked about the logistics of the situation, and they decided, and it was not very long, but about 20-minute ride, so they had time to explain it to me, and it made sense. Again, it's not for everyone, but for these two people, it worked absolutely perfect, and that's what makes them happy, which is very important. So they figured, he goes, it cost me, I can't remember, he said, I think $2,000 a month to go home and take the break at home. And wherever she was working, she was only making, I think, $1,000 a month. And so he said it made sense for her to quit work, and she wanted to do it, she was all on board. It's not because he pushed her into doing that. So she quit work, and she got in the truck with him, and that's what they do. They just travel. He goes, basically, we're camping around the country and getting paid for it, and he quite likes it. She helps him to do all the paperwork. They have to fill out a lot of things, and so she does that for him. And he said, if you eat at the truck stops, at the restaurants, it costs nearly $1,000 a month. He says, well, that's why we're going to Walmart. We're going to buy food, and he says usually about $120, $150 is enough for two of us for nearly a month. He's got a little barbecue in the truck, and it seemed to me, like as they were talking, they were totally on the same wavelengths. You can feel when people are on the same wavelengths, and they were saying, she goes, I absolutely love this. With him, I feel at home, and in the truck, she said, that's why I'm at home, that's why I'm happy. We were discussing the fact that it was his birthday the day prior, and he told her, well, let's go eat, we're in Las Vegas, let's go eat in a restaurant and whatnot. She goes, well, I don't need that much, and she didn't feel like spending the money on it. And again, it all based on whatever makes the individual happy, and they were clearly on the same page. They go, nah, we're gonna go buy some food now, and then, do a little barbecue. Like I said, he has a barbecue on the truck, he's got a TV. And she said, we'll just eat and have a bit of a drink, because he was on they need to have that many hours of a break before they start. I think he said it's 72, 74-hour clock, but they need to have, I can't remember, like it's over a day and a half break before that clock starts again. So they had all this time that he couldn't drive in that time. And he said, yeah, she said, and then we'll sit and watch TV and cuddle. And it was just, I thought it was absolutely lovely. It was truly inspirational. And I told them that. In my opinion, once again, now this is not for everyone, and some people may have a lot of comments about that. But that's, everybody's different. Think about it. The guy was decidedly unhappy and really kind of lost direction from what I could gather, and he admitted to it. Well, she helped him find that direction. She encouraged him, and that's what you build. When you care about someone else, you build them up, which is exactly what she's done. And he helped her out of really bad, it sounded like a horrible abusive situation. And again, in the process, he built her up, because just that comment when she said, well, my ex-husband clearly was insecure and whatnot, she obviously done some internal work. And I was so happy to hear that, because I'm a clinical psychologist, I'm a woman, and I know how often victims of such abuse, even when they got away from it, they keep thinking they done something to deserve it. They go, oh, well, maybe it was the... No, she knows exactly. She did not call him any horrible names or whatnot. She assessed the situation correctly. She left it, and she moved on, which is the best way one could be. She understood it was not her fault. There is nothing that she's done, it was him, and she was not sitting and going, oh, that mofo and this and that. No, she said, he was insecure, I understand that now and whatnot. So she realized he needs help, but it's not up to her to help him. He needs to seek that help on his own. He needs to work on him. She did the best thing she could do. She left the situation, and now these two are happy together. About them get married, they said she just finalized her divorce, like apparently, like very recently, I think a couple of weeks prior, and he's working on his. So as long as that comes along, that's it, they're gonna get married. So I thought I'd share that because it's honestly lovely to hear things like that. It's absolutely heartwarming. So hopefully I warmed the cockles of your heart, and you're gonna have a nice and fantastic day driving around and spreading the joy. Have a nice one.